Whenever you're ready. Do you need a mouse, or will I understand what to do?
Oh yeah, I have a mouse.
Yeah.
So hi, I'm Ilumin, as Sir Nielsen said. I'm also the Mall United Nations president. I'm also his TA. And aside from that, I really love languages. I take both Spanish and French here at ND, and outside of class I take Mandarin and Korean. And I speak some Japanese, Tagalog, and of course English. So I really love languages, which is why I put this presentation together, and I love presenting it. So I guess I'll begin now without Sir Nielsen. So we use language to express our subjective views of the world. I could say it's hot, even if some of you guys feel cold, right? And this idea of using languages to express ourselves isn't new. It's something we're lucky to be able to do. And we learn this when we're babies, right? When we merely press vibrations into the air with our voices, and we could get people around us to do whatever we want. So this is an infographic about which languages are most prominent in the world. However, a more interesting question concerning languages is arising. It's how can languages influence the way we perceive and view the world? This is the idea that the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis expresses. Basically, it's that certain thoughts and ideas can only be expressed in a particular language, and therefore people from different cultures and languages view the world differently and organize their reality differently.
Okay, Ilumin, can you repeat that one more time using other words?
Okay. What you speak is related to your thoughts, and how you speak changes your thought depending on what language you speak.
Thumb up, thumb down, thumb sideways.
Alright, cool. So that doesn't mean a lot right now, but to test this hypothesis, researchers from Stanford University conducted an experiment on people from various different linguistic and cultural backgrounds. They presented participants with pictures of people from different ages, and they asked them to organize the pictures according to age. And the results are as follows. English speakers arranged the pictures from right to left, Hebrew speakers left to right, and Cook aborigines from east to west. And does anyone have an idea why this is? Nope.
Can you say that? So what does it mean that they arranged it right to left versus left to right?
It just means that, so these people in the pictures that they gave them have different ages. English speakers would say, okay, the youngest would be like on like the left side, and then as they go to the right side, they get older. Whereas Hebrew speakers, it's like different, right? Right? No, sorry, that was the opposite way, but right to left. Anyway, yeah. But does anyone have any ideas why?
That's the way they write.
Yeah, that's the way they write. Actually, I think I have it. Oh yeah, I have it. I definitely have it around. So English speakers, we write from this side to this side, so left to right. Hebrew speakers, they go from right to left, right? All right. But yeah, definitely. It is definitely because of the way we write, the direction we write in, but it's also because of the environment. In the aborigine community, people think in space. So instead of words like right, left, which we use, they would use cardinal directions like forward, backwards, or north, south, east, and west to define space. And this is done in scale. So you could say, move the cup north, northwest a bit. And one obvious consequence of speaking like this is that you have to know where you're facing, or you have to stay oriented at all times. One common greeting in the Cook aborigine language is, where are you going? And you have to respond with the direction you're going in. So you would say something like south, southeast, in the middle land, or something like that. And so if you don't know which direction you're facing, then you can't speak the language at all. You can't even get through a proper greeting. Does that make sense?
Can you say that one more time in different words? I'm sorry. I'm slow.
It's alright. Okay, so Cook their language, no, right, left, sideways, backways. It's always north, south, east, west, using cardinal directions, right? And it's so ingrained in their language that like they've adjusted how they orient themselves to their language so that they could communicate easily. You know what I mean?
Can you give us an example of that?
Yes. So as I said before, there's a greeting called, there's a greeting where they would ask you, where are you going? That's like their equivalent of saying, hello, how are you? And you would have to respond with where you're going. Like, I have here, you say something like south, southeast in the middle distance. So like your response would be in connection to where you are and how you orient yourself. So if you can't orient yourself, if you can't speak that language, then you can't speak the language at all. Yes.
Okay, so talk with your group, 30 seconds. Summarize what you just heard in your own words.
Like in English, you're writing like
Also, language affects perspective. So different languages and view the world differently and might change their actions as well. And that also affects how they see the reason.
yeah, and then like the whole like you're right, that's right. Yeah.
Like it's Arabic, right, left.
5 segundos.
No, think like
It's like left or left.
3,
Oh, no,
2,
you're right.
1, 0. Una víctima. Una víctima. Let's see. Group 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alguien que no ha hablado. ¿Qué opinas? En inglés.
So, like in some languages, instead of saying left to right, they would say east to west. So they have to know which direction they're in so that they can explain it instead of saying left to right or up down. And
And what's the thing with saying, like, how are you?
they don't say how are you, they ask like where you're going, and then you respond by saying where you're going south or north.
Okay. Would you ever say something like that?
No.
Why not?
I mean, I'd probably ask where they're going. I wouldn't respond saying I'm going south.
Okay. So, Sabrina, you're talking with Audrey. Sabrina, you say, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's up?
And Audrey, you say, "I'm going east right now."
I'm going east.
Or I'm going. Ilumin, would a better way be like I'm going, like somewhat? I'm going east for a short length of time.
So they would, it's all in scale. So you would be like, I'm going south, southeast in the middle direction. So it's definitely more complicated than that. So.
Okay. So I'm going south, southeast in the middle direction.
I'm going south, southeast in the middle direction.
Sabrina, what is your initial thought right now?
I have no idea where that is.
I don't either.
Okay. So, what's your initial thought as to, can you now communicate with Audrey?
Not really, no.
Why not?
Because that didn't give me a lot of information in terms of my understanding that I don't know where southeast middle land is.
Okay.
So I still have no idea where she's going.
So you don't understand her response. She also didn't really respond to your question, did she?
No, I said, what's up?
So talking about language and dialects, what would this have to do with that? How would you wrap language and dialects into what we just said? Noemi?
Because some people interpret things like different ways.
Yeah, and use language or dialect.
Dialects.
Dialect why?
Because like their language, like some people's languages are different.
Okay, but you said some people's languages are different. So I would take out dialect then, and I would say languages are different. Uno, dos.
Like we spoke the same language, and like I understood she was saying like, "How are you?" or whatever she said, or like, "What's up?" But like in my culture, if that was my culture to say that, like that's what I would respond with. But she didn't know that, because like we didn't have that understanding.
Great. Noelle, was that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So thank you. You're absolutely right. Dos.
So I was gonna say like similar to Audrey, so it's in different languages, they have different ways of communicating. So if you are talking to someone from a different, that speaks a different language, you might